So if you watched the previous video, you should understand how this program works, but let me quickly go over it. I've said I've created a reference age called and the value is 21. So the variable name is called reference age. Let me put that there. And the value is 21. I've asked the user for input. So I've said user age, which is a variable name, equals input. Please enter your age. And I've printed out what the user has entered. And I've also printed the type of the data that thing is. But down here I said, actually, I wanted to make it a number because I need to then convert it to a number and check it against another number. So I do user age equals int user age. So I typecast it. I force it to be a different number. It's called type, T-Y-P-E, casting, C-A-S-T-I-N-G, typecasting. And then after that, I say, if user age is less than reference age, print you are not able to drive. So if you're less than 21, you're not able to drive. And I've said else you can drive. So I've said every other age you can drive. Well, that may be not the best program in the world. So another thing that we can do is call an else if or an ELIF statement. I think in C and Java, I think it's called else if, but in Python it's called ELIF. So press enter here. Let's do another check. And that other check is going to be ELIF. I'm going to do the same thing again. Let's do ELIF user age is equal to. Let's do equal to. If it's equal to reference age, and let's say something like print, maybe you can drive, because a maybe means that if you've passed your test, then maybe you can drive. But when you're under 21, you definitely cannot drive in some places because you definitely haven't done your test because you're not legally allowed to. So now when I run this program, F5, enter your age, I'm going to put 20 first. And 20 should give me that one there, the first selection there. 20, press enter, first selection. You are not able to drive. Now I'm going to enter 21, which is going to do this second one here. So I press F5 again. Please enter your age, 21. I press enter. Maybe you can drive. And the maybe is if you've done your test, if you pass your test, that's fine. You can drive. And now the last one says, yes, you can drive. So let me press F5 again. I'm going to enter 22. Yes, you can drive. There you go. This is how we do selection using if, ELIF, and else. We can add more ELIF statements. So I'm going to do that now just because we want to do a few more checks, let's say. Let's say ELIF. Let's copy this one again. Be lazy. ELIF. It's greater than. Did we do greater than? No. Let's say if it's greater than reference age, then we can print another value. If you can't drive, you're lazy. If you cannot drive, you are lazy, right? Driving is a thing that most young people want to do. So I've done so many checks. But why do we need this one then? Because we've basically checked for everything. Now, when we do an if statement, it's always a good idea to catch everything that could potentially happen. But we only care about a few things in this instance. We care about if it's less than. We care about if it's equal to. We care about if it's greater than. Now, in some other programs, there are going to be more things that you can check if it's greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. We can do so many different checks. But for us, we only care about these three checks. The else is used to catch anything else that could pop up. We don't care what it is. We just can do something else with it, right? So I can say down here, for example, I don't know what is going on. And leave it at that, right? I catch everything else that could potentially happen. So if we ignore the else for now, these are the things we're checking for, right? These are the things that we care about. But what the else does, it says, well, I mean, if the program does bug out somewhere or someone types in some foolishness, let's still catch it anyway. Why not? Because people are stupid. They're going to do stupid things. So we might as well just catch everything. So when I run this program, I don't think it will ever get to this. Because numbers can only be less than, greater than, or equal to. There's nothing in between those. But we still have it to catch what could potentially happen. Enter your age. Let's put 20. You are not able to drive. Fine. That's the first one. Run the program again. Let's put 21. It should be this one here. Maybe you can drive. Let me press enter. Maybe you can drive. There we go. Now let's run the program again. F5. And I'm going to put 22 this time. And it should be, if you cannot drive, you are lazy. Press enter. If you cannot drive, you are lazy. And now there's nothing I can enter to make it get to this part here, but it's still always a good idea to catch this. So let me press F5 again and put 1000, whatever number that is. Press enter. If you cannot drive, you are lazy, right? It will never get to this, but still always catch everything else by closing off with an else. And this could just be an error check. You could say here you entered an invalid option or menu or value or whatever. The program does not understand what's going on. And that's it. This is how we do a selection in Python. Simple, straightforward, but break it down into simple steps. Don't do everything at once. Do your first check, make sure it works. Do your second check, make sure it works. Do your third check, make sure it works. And then you add your else. Make sure your else is there at all times. Hopefully that was useful. And then the next one, we're going to do while loops and for loops.